Okay, so you've had the realization, you've watched the videos, read the books, maybe even had a few glimpses yourself. You understand it now. The ego is a construct. Time is Maya. The self is illusion. You are pure awareness having a temporary human experience. You got it. And then Monday morning happens. The alarm screams. Your back hurts. Your bank account is bleeding. Your boss is demanding. Your partner is distant. Your body is aging. Your mind is racing. And you think, wait, if none of this is real, why does it still hurt so much? If I'm eternal consciousness, why am I terrified about paying rent? If it's all a dream, why can't I just wake up and make it stop? I understand Maya is illusion. Now what? Welcome to the most confusing stage of the spiritual journey. The gap between knowing and living. Between understanding and embodiment. Today, we're bridging that gap. Not with more philosophy, but with the messy, practical truth of how to actually live when you've seen through the illusion. Let me tell you what nobody warns you about. You have this awakening moment, this flash of insight. You see it, really see it, the whole game, the entire construction, the machinery of illusion running in real time. And it's liberating. For about 72 hours. Then real life reasserts itself. And suddenly you're caught in this impossible paradox. If the ego doesn't exist, who's paying the bills? If nothing matters ultimately, why am I setting goals? If relationships are just consciousness meeting itself, why does heartbreak still destroy me? If the body is just a temporary vehicle, why does pain still feel like this? You start to feel like you're living in two worlds simultaneously, and neither one feels fully real anymore. The spiritual teachings say, let go, surrender, be here now. But your landlord doesn't accept presence as payment. Your body doesn't stop hurting because you identified as awareness. Your responsibilities don't evaporate because you realize they're ultimately empty. And here's where we get stuck. Here's where the spiritual journey becomes a minefield. Here are 3 scenarios. Scenario 1. Spiritual bypassing. You use "it's all Maya" as an excuse to check out, to stop showing up, to abandon responsibility. Why should I care about my health? The body is illusion. Why should I maintain relationships? People are just projections. Why should I work? Money is Maya. This isn't freedom. This is using spirituality as an anesthetic, as a way to hide from life instead of engaging with it. Scenario 2. Intellectual understanding without integration. You know the truth. You can talk about non-duality for hours. You've memorized the Upanishads. You can quote Ramana Maharshi. But it's all in your head. Your body is still terrified. Your emotions still control you. Your behavior hasn't actually changed. You're like someone who read every book about swimming but still drowns when thrown in the water. Scenario 3. The pendulum. You swing back and forth. Spiritual highs where everything feels clear and light. Then crushing lows where you think you've lost it and you're back to being a separate suffering person. You feel schizophrenic. Split. Like you're failing at both worlds. I've been in all 3 of these traps. Hell, some days I'm still in them. So let me share what I've learned. Not as someone who's made it, but as someone who's learning to navigate this paradox without losing his mind. Here's the framework that resonated with me. It's ancient, but it's the only thing that actually works. The two-level truth. The mystics called it different things. In Buddhism, conventional truth versus ultimate truth. In Advaita Vedanta, Vyavaharika versus Paramarthika. In Kabbalah, the world of action versus the world of emanation. But here's what it actually means in plain language. From the absolute perspective, you are infinite consciousness. Time is illusion. Separation is illusion. Nothing is ultimately real except pure awareness. From the relative perspective, you are a human being, with a body that ages, with bills that need paying, with relationships that require care, with consequences that follow actions. Both are true, simultaneously. And the mistake most people make is thinking they have to choose between them, that you're either spiritual or practical, either awakened or engaged with life. But that's not how it works. Think about an actor, a really good actor. When they're playing King Lear, they fully commit. They feel the rage, the grief, the madness, real tears, real emotion. They're completely in it. But when the curtain falls, they don't have an identity crisis about whether they're actually a king. They don't need therapy because Cordelia died. They don't go home and exile their daughters. They were in the role without being trapped by the role. That's what living with Maya looks like. You fully participate in the relative reality. You pay your bills. You care for your relationships. You set goals. You feel emotions. You show up completely. But you do it with one hand held lightly. You're playing the game without being enslaved by it. You're in the dream without being fooled by it. The Zen master Bankei said it perfectly. Live as though everything depends on you. Know that nothing depends on you. Both. Simultaneously. Okay. Philosophy is beautiful. But you came here for the practical stuff. How do you actually live this? How does understanding Maya change your daily experience? Let me break it down with real examples. Not theory, but how this actually shows up in life. Money and bills. Before the realization, money is survival. It's security. It's proof of worth. When the bank account is low, you're not just broke, you're failing. You're unsafe. Your identity is threatened. Money isn't just currency. It's a referendum on your value as a human. After the realization, money is game mechanics. It's part of the rules of this reality, like points in a video game or chips in poker. You still play skillfully. You still strategize. You still pay attention. But you don't mistake your bank balance for your being. Here's what actually changes. You can be broke without being broken. You can have financial stress without having an identity crisis. You handle money more responsibly, not less, because you're not making fear-based decisions anymore. I still pay my bills. I still budget. I still work. But the energy is different. Before, I need this money or I'm worthless. After, this is an interesting challenge to navigate. Let's see what emerges. The action looks the same. The internal experience is completely different. Relationships. Before, relationships are about completion. You need the other person to make you whole, to validate you, to prove you're lovable, to fill the void. When they leave, you're destroyed. When they criticize you, you're shattered. When they don't behave the way you need them to, you're betrayed. After, you recognize you're already whole. And from that wholeness, you choose to connect, not to complete yourself, not to fill a gap, but because connection is one of the beautiful expressions of consciousness meeting itself. Here's the paradox. When you stop needing people, you can actually love them. Because love from wholeness looks completely different than love from lack. From lack, I need you to behave a certain way so I can feel okay. From wholeness, I see you. I celebrate you. I choose to walk beside you. And I release you to be exactly what you are. Does this mean you don't care? Hell no. You care more. But it's a different kind of caring. It's not possessive. It's not desperate. It's not conditional. You love people without needing them to be different than they are. And when relationships end, it still hurts. The body still grieves. But you're not annihilated by it. Because you know, the love was real in the relative realm. And the consciousness you both are, that was never separate to begin with. Goals and ambitions. Before, goals are about arrival, about becoming someone, about proving you matter, about filling the void of not enough yet. Every goal is secretly asking, will this finally make me complete? After, goals become expression instead of achievement. You create because creation wants to flow through you. You build because building is one of the games consciousness plays. You grow because growth is interesting. Energy builds, but you're not attached to the outcome anymore. Think about a musician playing jazz. They're fully committed to the performance. They're improvising, creating, expressing with everything they have. But when the song ends, they don't have a crisis. They don't think, that song is gone, therefore I've lost something precious. They enjoyed the playing. The goal wasn't the finished song. The goal was the playing itself. So I still set goals. I still create. I'm literally making this video right now. Clearly, I haven't transcended ambition. But the quality has changed. Before, I need this to succeed or I'm a failure. After, let's see what wants to emerge through me. And whatever happens, happens. I'm more productive now, not less, because I'm not paralyzed by the fear of failure. I'm not second-guessing every move. I'm just creating. Play instead of pressure. Flow instead of force. Suffering and pain. Before, pain means something is wrong. With you. With life. With the universe. Suffering is the enemy. It means you failed. It means you're broken. It means you're doing it wrong. After, here's the truth. Pain still happens. The body still gets sick. Emotions still arise. Grief still grips you. Fear still shows up. But here's what changes. Suffering is the story you add to pain. Pain is sensation. It's data. It's the body's feedback system. Suffering is the mind saying, "This shouldn't be happening. Why me? This is terrible. This will never end. I'm broken." When you see the difference, everything shifts. You can have a terrible headache without the suffering of, "Why does my body always betray me?" You can feel grief without the suffering of, "I shouldn't feel this way." You can experience fear without the suffering of, "Something's wrong with me for being afraid." The pain is honored, acknowledged, felt fully, but the drama around it, that dissolves. So here's the question I get asked most. If nothing ultimately matters, why do anything? Why not just sit on a mountain and meditate until the body dies? And here's my answer. Because being fully alive in the illusion is the whole point. Consciousness didn't create this elaborate dream just to escape from it. It created it to experience it. The whole game, the whole beautiful, messy, heartbreaking game. It's intentional. You are eternal awareness that chose to forget itself temporarily. That chose to experience limitation, separation, time, form. Why? For the richness of it, for the texture of human experience. You can't experience reunion without first experiencing separation. You can't experience courage without first experiencing fear. You can't experience forgiveness without first believing in wrongdoing. You can't experience awakening without first believing you were asleep. So the invitation isn't to escape the dream. The invitation is to become lucid in the dream, to play fully, to love fully, to create fully, to show up with everything you have, but to do it all with the lightness of knowing. This is play. This is exploration. This is consciousness experiencing itself from another angle. You're not here to transcend life. You're here to be radically present to it. To let the illusion be illusion while you engage with it completely. That's the paradox. That's the razor's edge. That's the art of being human after awakening. So, I understand Maya is illusion. Now what? Now you live. You pay the bills with awareness instead of anxiety. You love people without needing them to complete you. You set goals without attaching your worth to outcomes. You feel pain without drowning in suffering. You show up fully to this temporary, precious, ultimately empty, deeply meaningful human experience. You play the game with everything you've got. And when it's over, you'll set down the controller and say, "Wow, what a ride." Understanding Maya isn't the end of the journey. It's the beginning of actually living. Not living in spite of the illusion, but living because of it. Living through it. Living as it. Your consciousness that forgot itself just so it could experience the breathtaking beauty of remembering. And right now, in this very moment, you're in the process of remembering. Not by escaping, but by showing up. Fully, courageously, playfully, real in the illusion. Welcome to the rest of your life. It's all Maya, and it's all magnificent. Drop a comment and tell me, what's one area where you're struggling to bridge the gap between understanding and living? Money? Relationships? Purpose? Let's figure this out together. And if this resonated, you know what to do. Subscribe. because we're just getting started. The real work isn't understanding the illusion. It's learning to dance in it. Let's dance.